how can you figure out your career path? In this episode, I'm sharing 3 steps with you to take you from lost and confused to empowered. Hello and welcome to the show, the place to get you clear and confident in your STEM career. So whether you work in science, tech, engineering, maths, or anything technical or construction related, then this is the place for you. Before I dive in, make sure you subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're listening on the podcast app, please subscribe and like and comment because it really helps the algorithm. And we know that we need to please the algorithm. I want to make sure that I can continue making videos and episodes for you, so I would massively appreciate your support. So let's dive into the steps. Step number 1 is to brainstorm all potential paths available to you and that you've thought of. So this one is quite a fun one. All you need to do is sit down with a piece of paper and brainstorm every single idea that you have or you've had in the past. And what I recommend is you consider everything here, because most of the time when people think about jobs and moving on in their next steps, the only thing that they think about is kind of what they can apply to right now. They kind of cut themselves off from other opportunities. So think back to when you were 10 years old and you wanted to be a dolphin trainer. Yeah, that was me, wanted to be a dolphin trainer. Think back to the hobbies that you did, whether you were writing or whether you did plays and you enjoyed acting. Open yourself up to so many different possibilities. Don't cut yourself off. Now, midway through my career, after I had had about 8 years experience, that's not quite midway, I guess that's still early career, right? I had this early career crisis where I suddenly thought, I don't know what I want to do anymore. And some of you, if you're a regular listener or watcher, then you know this already, that I had a bit of a meltdown, bit of a breakdown, because it was difficult. It can be difficult when you don't know where you're heading, particularly if you've already spent years studying, training, and getting experience. To suddenly feel like you don't know where you're heading anymore can be really quite traumatic. So I remember, quite a few years ago, I thought I wanted to be an actress. I thought I wanted to go into marketing. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to be a biologist. I thought I might want to do a PhD. There were so many different things. And at that time, I was an engineer working in oil and gas. But I was still unhappy. So what I did was I sat down and I brainstormed everything just to get it out of my head and down on a piece of paper. So that is step number 1. Step number 2 is to test each idea. So I'm a big believer that you don't know if you like something or if you want to do something until you actually try it, right? So imagine you've walked into a sweet shop and you need to decide what sweets you want. You're not gonna know what you like in that sweet shop until you start tasting different ones. And that's why people tend to get pick and mix, right? Because then you can have different things. It's important to try these things out. You can't just think and imagine what something will be like. You have to understand it firsthand. Now, testing an idea doesn't need to be you literally get a job in that, although you could if you wanted to. There's so many different ways to do it. So I remember when I had brainstormed all of my different ideas, I took a few different approaches. The first approach is I did start applying to different things, because interviews are such a great way for you to meet people and to understand and to get a sense of whether something's right for you. So start applying to different things. Next thing I did was I also applied to a PhD and went through interviews for PhDs to get a sense of what that would be like. I also connected and reached out to as many people as possible who had done PhDs to learn about it and to understand what it would actually be like. For the marketing stuff, I did some work shadowing. And bearing in mind, I already had 8 years experience. And you always think that work shadowing is only for, students and young people. It's not true. You can work shadow at any age, and I recommend it for career and job changes, definitely. So I did some work shadowing. I also started a YouTube channel in my spare time. I started acting as a hobby. So you really need to just dive in and spend some time just trying and testing and seeing what works for you. And then you're essentially gathering evidence and data, and then you use that to start making the decisions. From that, you can then start crossing off what might not be right, because really you need to think about this like a filter. You start off with loads of options, and then you need to start crossing off all of your different ideas until you come down and you get maybe 2 or 3 different ideas that you're more serious about. Step number 3 is you need to invest in yourself. So you, my friend, are the most important thing when it comes to your career, because without you, your career ain't gonna happen, right? Bit obvious, I know, but it's true. And it's funny how you invest in so many different things, but when it comes to your career and yourself, maybe you don't invest in that as much. And when I talk about invest, there's 2 key ways that you can invest. You invest your time and you can invest your money. So work shadowing, for example, would be an investment of your time, because you're working for free. You're not gaining money. It's not really about the money. It's about investing your time into something to learn and to understand. Then there's investments with money. So you could do training, you could do courses, you could join a group coaching program like I run called Fearless Careers. And you can work with career coaches as well to help you really get that clarity and that confidence in where you're heading. And that can be such a transformative experience. And it's something that I did myself. And I've always invested really in myself over the years, whether it's getting therapy, CBT, or career coaching, because it is invaluable to support yourself and to equip yourself with tools and support. Now, I want to be honest with you here. When you don't know where you're heading in your career, you can end up feeling lost and alone and negative and exhausted, and it can be really, really challenging and so difficult. And many of the clients that have come to me in the past had gone through what I've gone through as well in the past, which is this period of just pure confusion. And no matter how much you talk to your friends and your family, nothing seems to help. And this is why I started coaching, becoming a career coach, and why I run my group coaching program, Fearless Careers, because it gives that support and because I've been through it all. So I understand the steps and the tools that need to be taken. And I want to cut out all of that negativity and all of that time because I spent about 5 years trying to figure out how to get out of that mess. And I wouldn't want that for anybody, because it can be so damaging and destructive to you. So think about joining Fearless Careers. And if you're not already signed up to my free masterclass, which is all about the 5 mistakes that even successful people make when they think about their next career steps, this masterclass is completely free. So please do sign up. If you want to get some clarity and if you want to boost, then just click the link in the show notes, which will take you straight to the sign up page, or just head to my website www.hayleyloren.com/coaching. So I just want to share one thing that one of my clients, Flo, said, and honestly, when I read this myself, it just completely warmed my heart, and I honestly cried, because it just means so much to be able to help people to this extent. So this is what she said. She said, if you're considering Fearless Careers, you're already on your way to making your best decision of the year. I can't thank Hayley enough for her constant enthusiasm, infectious energy, and sage advice. It has quite literally transformed my life. Now, that's amazing that she says sage advice. That's very cool. But what I really want to focus on here is the transformation in her life. And to go from a place of confusion and feeling lost, and to turn that and to transform and to feel like yourself again, that is exactly why I do what I do. And I understand the pain that people can sit in, and the confusion and the negativity. And I just want to help you to get to that place where you can feel light. And imagine what it would be like. Just imagine for a second if you woke up and you felt like you knew where you were going in your career, and you felt more confident, and you were in a role where you were happy and you felt supported. Imagine what that would feel like, and what that would do to the rest of your life. How would that impact you inside and outside of work? It really is remarkable. So do think about joining, and if not, definitely join the free masterclass. It would be great to see you there. That's it for today. I will see you next week.